The man who has admitted to killing a high-profile abortion doctor has just taken the stand in his own defense. Scott Roeder is on trial for first-degree murder. Prosecutors say he walked into a Wichita church on May 31st and shot and killed Dr. George Tiller at point-blank range. Tiller was a high-profile late-term abortion doctor. His Wichita clinic, one of the few in the nation that performed the procedure. Here's the 911 call made just moments after he was shot.
Somebody just came in and shot him at our church. Somebody shot someone? Yes, Dr. Tiller. Dr. George Tiller was just shot. Dr. George Tiller was just shot in the nurse ma'am? Yes, what is the address? What is the address? 601 East 13th Street.
Well, Roeder admits to the killing, but his lawyers argue he should face a lesser charge of voluntary manslaughter because he believed killing Tiller was necessary to save the lives of unborn children. He left the church after shooting Tiller in the head. Cops caught up with him about 3 hours later.
Where's the gun? And grab your shirt behind the collar and lift up your pants. Lift up your shirt.
Slowly back him up. I'm going to have him thrown out.
All right, driver, step backwards. Keep walking backwards.
Well, Roeder was on the stand today, and he was asked if he killed Dr. Tiller. He said he did. He also told the jury he does not believe abortion is justified, even in the cases of rape or incest. Alicia Acuna is covering this case in Wichita. Alicia, what has he said on the stand so far today?
Hi, Patty Ann. Well, as you mentioned, he mentioned all of the ways in which he believed that abortion is not justified, including rape or incest, or even in the event that the mother's life is at stake. He says he struggles with that, but that's ultimately up to the Heavenly Father. He also said and admitted driving to the Reformation Lutheran Church on May 31st of last year, walking in and shooting Dr. Tiller in the head. And at one time, Patty Ann, he did attempt to list off all the different ways that the abortion procedure can be carried out, at which the prosecution objected. The DA actually yelled objection, and the judge stopped him. Patty Ann?
So how is the defense making this case that this was voluntary manslaughter?
Yeah, the judge says that the defense has quite a task at hand. Under the statute here in Kansas, they have to convince the jury and the judge that Roeder had an unreasonable but honest belief that he was preventing the death or harm of someone else. But he also has to convince them that the threat was imminent, that he was trying to save someone who was in danger just minutes away. Now, in doing that, it's been kind of tough, because what the defense is trying to do and what they've told the jury is that when Scott Roeder decided to shoot Dr. Tiller at his church on a Sunday away from his clinic, he was doing so because it was so difficult to reach Dr. Tiller. He said Dr. Tiller's clinic had gates and guards and bulletproof windows, that his home was in a gated community, basically saying he was impossible to get a hold of.
Alicia Acuna reporting live from Wichita. Thank you. And let's get some legal perspective on this case right now with Matthew O'Connor, a criminal defense attorney. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
As Alicia said, he's charged with first-degree murder. His lawyers want to make the case for voluntary manslaughter, which means the defendant had an unreasonable but honest belief that deadly force was necessary to prevent another's imminent use of deadly force. Is it likely a jury will buy that defense in terms of preventing abortions?
No, not at all. And the key phrase here is imminent. And this case is not about whether individuals are pro-choice or pro-life. This case is about an individual who planned and executed a murder with malice aforethought. And the time frame it takes to be convicted of murder one in terms of the deliberation is a split second. And as your reporter just noted, he planned this out. He wanted to get a hold of Dr. Tiller and took the time to do so. So the fact that he may have been an abortion provider, that he disagreed with that was lawful conduct, as a jury had acquitted Dr. Tiller of the misdemeanor charges in Kansas.
Roeder is on the stand today. Let's play right now some of what he had to say in court just a short time ago.
A man's job to take life, or it is our Heavenly Father's. He is our Creator. He gives and takes life. It's never up to man to take life, only in cases of self-defense or defense of others.
So again, that standard, unreasonable but honest belief, couldn't you argue that he has that?
Well, sure. I mean, as defense attorneys, we can argue anything. Whether a rational jury is going to believe that is another matter. This case is really about the rule of law. And the rule of law would indicate that unless there was an imminent harm that was going to befall someone, and that means within an immediate proximate time, such as a self-defense case, then it would be appropriate. But what the defense is trying to do, understandably, is to make this case about his belief that abortion was unlawful or immoral. And that's not what the case is about. This case is about taking someone's life at church, whether you agree or disagree with what they do for a living, and that's unlawful. And that's why we have laws in this country.
All right, Matthew O'Connor, criminal defense attorney, thank you for joining us.